And welcome back into the Bettor Half Hour, my favorite segment where we bring you veteran sharps in the betting space to give their insight and do it phenomenally. You've seen them on the show before. We've had them on the Betting Exchange, host of the No Catch Up podcast, Mr. Sean Little, back in the building. Good to be with you, my friend.
Monaco, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure. I love talking ball with you, man.
Likewise, I love that Jordan 45 in the background, too. All right, so let's talk NFL here. Upcoming weekend. We're already in Week 14. We're zipping through. What's a trap bet you can help us and the viewers avoid? It seems to be the theme of this season. Dogs barking. What do you got for me in terms of trap bets this weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to be a homer this time. I think it's a trap game. I'm not picking, let's be clear, I'm not picking the Bears to win outright, but I think 12.5 might be a little too much. Justin Fields is coming back off the rib injury. He'll be starting in Lambeau. 12.5 is a big, big number in a rivalry game. I know this is a tired narrative, but the whole Rodgers, we own you thing, I think that the Bears are going to come out ready to play. Nagy is fighting for his job, even though I think he should lose it anyway. I think they keep it closer than 12.5. And the Packers seem to coast at home. I know it seems like they catch a lot of breaks, but I would say this is a bit of a trap if you're looking at – I would never give up 13 here looking at the Packers.
I hear you, although I will say the Packers are 4-0 against the spread at Lambeau, best cover in the league. But you're right, divisional games, different breed. Speaking of which, several divisional matchups this weekend. Two underdogs won last week outright in the Seahawks and the Steelers. Which, if any, do you have underdogs winning outright or at least covering this weekend?
Yeah, I know a lot of people are thinking the Ravens, right? That people don't trust Baker Mayfield and the Browns, and they seem to lean the Ravens every time they're in like a bounce-back spot. But I like the Raiders plus 9.5. I just think it's too many points. The Raiders seem to play the Chiefs very, very well. The Raiders can put up points. And, I mean, we're legitimately asking the question, are the Chiefs a defensive team now? I haven't seen that consistent tick from Mahomes. We had a couple weeks back where we had 400-plus yards, 5 touchdowns. But since then, it's still been a little shaky. So I like the divisional Raiders to go into Kansas City and keep it closer than 9.5.
Well said. All right, we got an interesting interconference battle here. Niners and Bengals both off a loss, needing to win to stay in the playoff hunt in their respective conferences. Which way do you lean in this one in Cincy?
Somebody roll back our interview from last week. This is a clear pass spot. So I don't have any lean here. I would lean as a pass because, like you said, you just laid it out. Both teams are coming off a loss. You laid it out in the segment before this. We got Burrow with the pinky. I think it's a pass. This is a really, really tough matchup. If you want some action on this game, go flip a coin, do whatever you got to do. But I have no idea who's going to win this game. And especially because Cincinnati just laid an egg, and then the Niners had a little stumble last week as well. So it's going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah, it's a tough one to ride on, especially when you don't know about Burrow's health. All right, you mentioned it briefly there with Baker and the Ravens. This is interesting. I want to bring it back because it's the first time since 1991 that a team has gotten to go back-to-back games in the regular season against each other. Browns, of course, with a bye in between. But it's in Cleveland. I actually saw it open. The line has moved here. It's now around 2.5. You'd think it'd be closer to a pick-em. Can you give us a little breakdown into the Sean Little mind of how you would fire on this AFC North rivalry game?
Yeah, I'm seeing a full 3 now on Cleveland, -3 against the Ravens coming off the bye. I mean, like you said, this is do or die. If they expect to play in the postseason, they have to get a win here at home against a rival in the Ravens. Listen, I know people don't want to say this, but I have to keep it real. When I'm watching my tape, I'm still very nervous watching Lamar Jackson drop back and make decisions and throw the football. I know people are saying he can do it all, he can do this, he can do that, but if you go watch the film on a week basis, he makes a lot of suspect decisions, and I think that might carry over for this game, especially with Cleveland having an extra week to prepare. I like the Browns in this spot if I was looking for action -3. Find a 2.5 if you can, but yeah, I like the Browns here.